CloudDB, shaping your new normal.
Yeah. So good day to all. So welcome to the APSEO UC session. So extremely sorry for the delay. So today we are going to see about the extending Enterprise Manager 13.5 to gain machine learning driven insights. So we'll start. So this is the agenda. So we'll be talking about Enterprise Manager 13.5 and OCA observability and management overview and integrating Enterprise Manager with OCA services. So, and we'll see OCA operations insight concept and capabilities, and we'll see how to set up OCA and EM bridge on Enterprise Manager and on OCA, and how to use that data on operations insight. So, and we'll see a quick demo. So, Enterprise Manager 13.5 we loaded with a lot of functionalities. 13.5. So we have hybrid cloud management, ops automation, extensibility, and all. So we have some more new features like monitor and manage your hybrid fleet, support OCA database resources. So we will be able to manage both resources from on-premise and cloud, and ease of provisioning of the database and IaaS machines via hybrid DBS as a service and DB as a service consoles, and simplify migration of the DP from on-premise to cloud and within cloud and all. So through DB migration workbench, and you will be able to connect the existing enterprise manager with the OCA to extend more driven insights on OCA through OCA bridge and EM bridge. That's the part we are going to speak about on the further slides. And we have some more features like dynamic runbooks and smart event compression and automatic workload analysis to identify database performance, and EM warehouse for capacity forecast and performance testing on the database part. And we have enhanced security compliance framework with more number of interoperable open standards and all. And there is a new Fleet UI released on 13.5, which enables you to easily manage, patch, and upgrade your databases through Fleet Management UI. So we'll give a overview about the OCA Observability and Management Platform. So OCA Observability and Management Platform is a combination of different services like APM, database management, Java management service, logging analytics, operations insight, and more. So this enables you to collect data from different targets running on premise and even on OCA cloud services and on different hybrid cloud services also. And it provides a visibility and machine learning driven insights to ease your data management on all layers of the stack. And the OCA observability and management supports multi-cloud, and it is more open and extensible. It supports all the cloud-based services, and the monitoring and analysis will be through cloud-based service. So no need to install any tools, or no need to configure any tools on your local machine and all. And we have a wide and deep Oracle database observability area in this observability and management. So let's jump into the enterprise manager OCA services. So if you have an enterprise manager and the enterprise manager is monitoring like around n number of targets like hundreds, thousands, and all. So no need to do the discovery of the individual database targets on the OCA. So to simplify that, we introduced this OCA bridge concept on the enterprise manager. So wherein you can keep your enterprise manager up to date with the enterprise manager 13.5, and you can use OCA bridge to collect all the database and target information and pack it through OCI bridge and send it to OCI object storage. So you need to configure object storage bucket on OCI part, and wherein the OCI bridge will extract all the database target data to OCI object store bucket, and it enables the OCI observability and management services to access those data and do the deep analysis of the data to make your targets perform better. So there are two bridges involved in this. One is OCI bridge, which should be configured on the OCI side, and the EM bridge that should be configured on the OCI side. So on the EM side, on the OCI bridge, it is one-time setup. You need to group the target together into one bundle. The targets which you planning to migrate or not migrate, you want to manage on the OCI services, and tell OCI bridge that these are the targets I am going to manage, so that the object store bucket will capture all those data. And after that, you need to create an EM bridge, and that EM bridge will be a proxy between the object store bucket and the OCI services. So let me we'll go deep into all the concepts the further slides. So OCI operations insight is a part of observability and management area. We'll see the future and concepts of operations insight. So to forecast your resource requirement and detailed analysis of the current used target, and if you want to forecast your targets future usage like CPU, memory, IO and all, you need to use capacity planning as the future of operations insight. And if you want to plan your Exadata rack more intensively, and if you want to save cost and all, so you need to use Exadata insights that will enable you to plan your Exadata storage and servers more granularly, and you can plan the resource accordingly. So there won't be no wastage of resources. And if you want to enhance your performance of the database SQLs, so you can use SQL warehouse that will automatically grabs your SQLs and the databases discovered, and it will give a detailed analysis report on what other databases have degradation and which database SQLs are taking more resource than usual. And if you want to save the AWS data and analysis, you can use AWS Web. So that is in pipeline. So will be announced soon on OCI services under observability and management area. So the operations insight drives its data through three means. So one is through cloud infrastructure. So the targets which are running deployed and running on OCI native cloud services like autonomous data warehouse, autonomous databases, ATP, ATPS, and OCI database services provisioned on OCI. So those and all directly you can monitor on operations insight, just to enable operations insight on each target. And another second one is through agent service. So we have an Oracle OCI management agent available on observability and management area. So that agent enables you to direct communication between that target wherever it is running. So that should be outside the OCI or in on-premise, wherever it is running, or even another hybrid cloud also. Only thing is that agent needs a communication between the OCI and the target. So if you install that agent, it will automatically sends the data to OCA, and you can collect the data to analysis. And third way is like enterprise manager. So if you have an on-premise data center and you are having multiple targets running on that on the environment, and if you want to do a more deeper analysis on those targets, so you can create an EM bridge and move the data from enterprise manager to OCA, and you can do a quick analysis. So the capacity planning is the first part. We are going to talk about capacity planning, Exadata Insights, and Oracle SQL Warehouse. So the capacity planning, you will be able to forecast future demand and resource-based historical trends through machine learning techniques. So it uses 25 months, around 25 months of historical data of all the autonomous database, external database, and OCD system databases. And it will do a quick machine learning on the data, and it exports the data to the OCA operations insight, and that can be used for future forecasting of your resource like CPU, storage, memory, and how much IO it will take in next 30 days or 60 days or 90 days. So it deeply uses machine learning forecast model. So it will be around more or near accurate to your future usage. And yeah, as I said earlier, it will give 30 to 90 days capability utilization issues, and it helps you to quickly identify the largest, most utilized, and fastest growing database and host, so that you can plan your resource more efficiently. And it also helps to identify the underutilized resources, so that you can trim down those resources and use that resource for some other purpose. So SQL warehouse. So this SQL warehouse helps you to identify, scan your databases SQLs, and give an insight on the SQLs which violates the normality, and some inefficiency there on the SQLs. So you can easily identify those SQL performance issues on your databases, and it will give insights on top resource consuming SQLs, and which are degraded and SQLs with unpredictable performance. And some SQLs may went into inefficiency and violate some plans. So those can be easily identified, and without any queries or without any DB admin capabilities. So you can easily get those details through operations insight. And so we'll quickly jump into how to set up EM Bridge and operations insight. So on the enterprise manager side, it is a one-time setup. Let me go to the enterprise manager. So it should be configured on the enterprise manager side, and it is to copy the repository data and target data from enterprise manager to OCA object store. And data can be accessed by OCA services such as logging analytics and operations insight. For now, these two services are enabled to read this data, and more coming in future. And these cloud services provide a deep analysis of identified data pattern, which will prevent outages and achieve better application, as I said earlier. And database performance, regardless of where the database is deployed, either on premise or some other cloud or on OCA. So let me show the enterprise manager bridge and the enterprise manager. So you need to, so before that, let me show the targets. So I have some database targets running on enterprise manager. These are the database targets. And so you need to do some setups before. So I give the documentation link. So there are four things you need to do. So make sure all the databases are up and running, and you need to create an OCA credential through security named credential. That will be the gateway to enable and read the OCI side bucket. So an example OCI credential is this. So that will take your tenancy OC user OC and the public API fundamental. So we'll give the documentation how to do that along with these slides. So this one you need to do. Then you need to set the preferred credential for all the targets you are going to manage on OCA. So you need to go to setup security preferred credential and then select host, and you need to manage preferred credential, and you need to set the preferred credential for all the targets you are going to export to OCA. So this is the second step, and third step is export. You need to create a target group with all those targets. So I created an OCA target group with the database and host targets. So these are the applicable targets for now for operations insight. So after this third step, you need to go to export EM data to OCA. So there you can, so it is already enabled. So you can do enable data export and select operations insight and select the target group. So I already utilized that. So using this, you can submit it, and you will be able to see this data export to OCA. So this is very easy step and configured within few minutes of your time. After this, within it will schedule your data extract and export every 30 minutes from EM to OCA. So it starts sending the data to enterprise manager from enterprise manager to operations insight. So this is the OCA bridge on EM enterprise manager. So next we'll switch to OCA side configuration. So on the OCA side, you need to have a bucket created before exporting the data. So for that, you need to go to storage buckets, and you need to create a bucket, private or public bucket for that. So I already created this bucket and exported the data. You need to key on these bucket details and all on the enterprise manager, so that it will automatically send the data to this bucket. So it is there. So it starts sending this metadata, similar metadata. So no need to bother about this. These and are like, it will internally the OPSC service will read the data. So once the data comes into the bucket, the operations insight will start reading those data. So these are some of the dynamic group and policies required to read the data from object store bucket. So the enterprise, so you need to create the enterprise manager bridge on the OCA side. So to do that, you need to navigate to cloud menu, observability and management, operations insight, administration. So here the EM bridge will be created. So I already created a bridge because so to create a bridge and enable the data for analysis, it will hardly take 4 to 5 hours for all the data and metrics to get loaded. So it can be shown in a live. So I already created this bridge, and so OJ Labs the bridge name, wherein I added these targets. So these targets are automatically got exported from the enterprise manager. So if you see these targets, and on the enterprise manager targets page, you will see the exact databases and targets. So these are the exact targets which are shown on this page. So all the applicable databases got exported here for analysis. So this is the first step. Second step on the add database part. And then once the database is added, you can see all the active and enabled state. So if you want to disable some of the databases which are not, which you don't want to do the analysis, you can just select the data. You can my mouse can. You can select the database and you can go and disable the operations state if you don't want to do the analysis for some particular databases. So in that way, you can choose the required databases only for the analysis. And now you can move to observability and management and operations insight to start seeing your databases discovered on this fleet. So there are 20 databases discovered, and out of 20, two targets are from the native cloud service and 18 targets are from external databases. So we have 18 hosts, and so I will show the hosts also. I'm sorry about that, I forgot to show the source. Under administration, so the database fleet will have the database detail and host fleet will have the host detail. So I have this many number of hosts. So DSX, ASD, and these are the hosts I exported from the enterprise manager. So ASD, ASSR, and DSX. If you go more details. Yeah. Yes, ASD, DSX, and ASSR. So these are the targets I am going to manage on the host fleet. So as of now, you can bring in your databases and host targets from Enterprise Manager to OCA for like operations insight. And Exadata fleet. So you need to, if you have any Exadata racks on your infrastructure, you can discover the Exadata fleet also. I will jump into another Enterprise Manager view for Exadata fleet, because I don't have any Exadata on my Enterprise Manager. So after this bridge creation, so as I saw, we'll see about the capacity planning of database host and Exadata. So so the Exadata fleet will have the same aspects of database and host targets how you discover. So the Exadata fleet will be used to add the Exadata system. So the Exadata system is already added. So if you go to the Exadata insights, you will be able to see the Exadata racks discovered here. Yeah, there are 4 Exadata racks discovered. So this is a very simple way of discovery. So you need one export, you create EM bridge, and you can add the host. So let me quickly jump into the capacity planning of the targets. So just click on the capacity planning, select databases. So this will give you the capacity planning for all your databases discovered. So I have 20 discovered database targets, 17 are from Enterprise Manager, 8 ATPS, and external PDBs. So also you can sort it with the version of databases and telemetry where it is running. This cloud agent service, through agent service, cloud infrastructure, and the Enterprise Manager. And this is the overview of the aggregate view of the CPU, storage, and memory of the discovered databases. So you can consolidate all the databases either running on your on-premise cloud infrastructure as well as from some other cloud provider in a different geographic area. And you can see the CPU insights and top consumers of CPU and the CPU trend, which is for the overall database uh, fleet. And if you want to dig more into each of the area, so I mean CPU, storage, and memory, you can select on the CPU, and the CPU will it will take the top utilized CPU databases which consumes most of the CPUs, and it will give you a graph. So this is where you will be seeing the machine learning driven insights. Like, so this is the current. Let me choose a database. Let me quickly jump to the. Yeah. So this is a CPU trend. So sometime before this database was utilized very heavily, and now it's been brought down to a bit down here. This line is the today's date, and this will be the future analysis. So using this machine learning and driven insight, it will forecast your future usage. So if you want the if you want to predict the machine usage for next 30 days, it will be like the current utilization will be 27.13, and in future it may go down and maybe goes down to 0.25. So this is how you can forecast your yeah, the maximum CPU may go in next 30 days will be 22.51 percentage for this database. So this is how you can use the machine learning approach, wherein no other uh, monitoring tools will give you this forecast methods. So similarly, you can analyze the data storage utilization of the databases. So you can select the database you want, and so this database is utilized more, and there is a constant usage of this storage on this database, and you can see the max and max forecast next 80 days and average and max forecast for this database. So next 30 days it might be identical, and this is the today's usage 1.64, and for a long time it got in the same state. And here there is a variation, and there is a constant increase on the data storage usage for this database. So as of now, today it will be like 1.64, and in future it may go to 1.95 normally, and max may go to 2.02 TB in next 30 days. So this is how you can plan. So if it goes more, you can go ahead and provision some few more storage to this database and make room for the data storage. And similarly, you can do the same for memory also. And so few databases are consuming more memory. You can check for the usage and analysis. So now today, so there is a until few days back it was like 14.66 GB utilized, and now it was like 13 GB bit reduced. And the worst case it may go to 14.55 percentage, 14.55 GB of memory, and it will give you a good prediction of how much memory may be needed for your future coming future. And similarly you can do for IO. So this is all about database fleet, and next time I'm going to host fleet. This host fleet is similar to the database, which for the host, not like database, it just takes the CPU and memory utilization. So you can choose similar to the database and do the active prediction for next 30 days. Uh, so CPU and memory here. And next I jump to Oracle SQL warehouse. So as I said earlier, it automatically discovers all the SQLs which are running on the discovered databases, and it shows these number of SQLs are degraded for performance issues, and you can choose that SQL and see the trend report on when it got the issues, and which database got into issues and all. So you can click on this database and do the comparison of the CPIO and the trend. So this will give you the chart on when it got which date it got more response time, and how much average response time it took. And you can do a comparison between the databases and see, and different databases, and see only these databases is going the high trend, so that you can plan to optimize that SQL on the database. So furthermore, you can get detailed insights on the top CPU consuming databases. You can check the change the um, columns here, and to get a better view. This is the database, and this is the SQL, and you can the SQLs which are consuming more CPU. So these are percentage grid, and you can sort it also. Yeah, this SQL is having higher change percentage in last few days, and so you can also dig more the about IO for those databases. This database is consuming more IO, and in this database, these SQLs are consuming more. And you can also check for last 30 days, last 7 days, and you can choose whatever timeline you want to do the analysis of these SQLs. Yeah. Next, we'll quickly jump into the Exadata insights. I will conclude this session in another 5 minutes. Uh, so, similar to the database and host, you can discover the entire Exadata infrastructure. And I have 4 Exadata infrastructures discovered here. And let me choose an Exadata rank that will give you the rack view of the Exadata rack. And I have 2 servers, 3 storage system, 3 switches, and 1 InfiniBand switches on this rack. So this is the hardware summary, and this is the software summary. It has 8 databases running inside and with 1 cluster ASMs. So similar to that, you can do all the insights I said earlier for CPU, storage, and memory per database wise and per host wise. So host, CPU, memory calculation you can do, and trend and forecast of those hosts. And the extra item on the database stack is, so the most important part is the storage server. So it has 3 disk groups for the SM. So this is the individual view of each disk group on the Exadata rack and the usage. Only one disk group, the data C1 is utilizing more. So this will give you an insight like you need to pay more attention for this disk group, and you can increase the disk group volume in future. And this is the aggregate future and the trend for next 30 days. So usage forecast will be 43.21 GB in future for this for all the disk groups. So if you want to see the only the future prediction, so you can swap this columns and then you can get the info. So if you, this is the total for all the 3 storage racks available on this. So it will give you the insights for IOPS, throughput, and storage usage. You can easily find this data group is growing fast, and this data group is these 2 data IOPS. Almost all the 3 storage servers are on the same IOPS. So you can also see the individual targets. So this is the storage insight analysis for Exadata storage server, which will be more critical for Exadata systems. So that's all I can. I'm going to conclude this session. So we have seen the host capacity planning dashboard insights for host and database, and this is the Exadata view and the Exadata forecast dashboard. And so we see about the SQL warehouse and the trends. And these are some of the resources. So this has some videos as well and documentation link. You can go ahead and see, learn more about the OPSI and how to configure and use it. And thanks a lot for all your valuable time. And thanks Francisco and Rajesh for your time and the opportunity. Thank you.
Okay, Prakash, thank you. That's a good session. And thanks everyone for your participation today. Please register to as many sessions as possible. And I'll close this session here. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
CloudDB, shaping your new normal.